will be in here in just a couple of minutes to explain why he hasn't paid Artie back yet. He sent me a full-page book almost, a letter, that he owes Artie money.
I really feel bad about that because, again, I'll point out, I would never have brought that up.
He brought
it up on the air. I was talking about another guy who owed me money.
He was so guilty he thought you were talking.
I guess so, but I've been friendly with Dan. It wouldn't be my style to bring that up.
Before I bring in Dan, though, would you guys mind if I just correct Eric the Midget for 1 second?
Okay.
Hey, Eric, just so you know, your business where you send people messages and pictures and you charge them money?
Yes.
You should... Eric calls this guy. I'm going to play you a call. And, like, yells. The guy said to Eric, listen, I ordered a picture and a message for my friend for Christmas. And he never got it. I want my money back. So Eric calls this guy and reams him. Right, Eric?
I guess. I have a lot of customers. I don't know what particular one you're talking about.
But you left him a nasty message. If the guy didn't get his stuff, he has a right to get his money back. You know what I'm saying?
You have a lot that are this mad at you that you don't know?
Here, listen.
You can't tell one from the other?
Well, there's one other shithead that I'm having to deal with.
All right, here's Eric, everybody. Listen to this. This is a voicemail he left on a customer's machine.
Hi, Kyle. This is Eric, the actor from the house. During the show, you know, your claim of me not sending you a photo for your friend's birthday. I mean, if it's for your friend's birthday, why the fuck are you waiting a month to make this claim? I'm not ripping you off. I'm not ripping anyone off. I have not ripped anyone off from the store. I'm not high-pitch, you dumb fuck. He rips people off. You know, my name may be Eric, but it's not high-pitch Eric. Dumbass. You got a refund, even though I don't fucking believe you deserve it. So check your PayPal and check your emails. Don't come back to the store. Goodbye for good, jackass.
It's, listen, the guy just was asking for his money back. It's a very, very strong message, don't you think?
I think his customer service department needs some spiffing up.
Although, if I got that message, I'd pay for that one. That's a good one.
There's a bunch of reasons you're a total dick in this situation. First of all, the guy waited a month to make sure he wasn't wrong and knowing he didn't get the message. He gave you a long time to get it to him. That's why he waited a month. He was actually doing you a favor.
Good point.
And then when he finally didn't get it after a month, you say, screw your friend's birthday? I mean, come on, dude.
Well, if I remember correctly, he actually ordered the photo like a month after the friend's birthday.
It doesn't matter why he wanted it.
I'm just saying, maybe there has to be a kinder, gentler Eric the Midget. That's all.
Yeah, these are people who actually tried to do business with you.
That's right. Customers. Paying customers. All right. Thank you, Eric. Sounds like Eric is watching in the background the inauguration.
Yeah, he's busy.
He's very busy.
He's ready for change.
You know, my father must be a visionary. I thought he was going senile. For the last 2 years, I'd say, my father has... I think he's even been on the air screaming about the Canadian geese.
Oh, wow, really?
Is that what took down that plane? Canadian geese.
Canadian geese. You know, the guy who landed the plane in the Hudson River is now going to be at the inauguration. He's such a hero.
Yeah.
The fact that he was a competent pilot and could, you know, they say that landing a plane on ground is a softer impact. You know,
than water, yeah.
Than water. Water is a really tough impact. And this guy was amazing that he could land this plane and get everyone out alive.
Because on the ground, you go down on the tires.
That's right.
I have to admit to something that's awful. But we got off the plane going to a gig Thursday afternoon, and we landed in Florida. And J.D., I guess, got news on his iPhone or something about it. And when I found out where it was, and I have to admit, it was before I found out everybody lived, I was pissed off because that's right in front of my apartment. I would have had a front row seat.
View, yeah.
I always said to myself, what would it look like if a plane crashed in a Hudson right in front of my apartment?
And you weren't there.
And I wasn't there. The one fucking time.
Well,
because it literally... First of all, Joey Boots, you know, Joe, I love you, but he calls me up and he goes, Artie, your apartment building's on CBS right now. And I'm like, listen, I don't mean to sound...
I just did a little heroin. Why would they put my whole building on there?
I don't mean to sound jaded, Joe, but I don't give a fuck anymore when I'm on CBS. Like, I mean, it's like, but it was literally... It was in front of my place.
Well, you know... I have to tell you that my father's been screaming about Canadian geese now for 2 years. My mother and my father go walking. That's their exercise. When you're 100 years old, you know, just a walk is exercise.
Strenuous exercise.
Yeah, so wherever they go, there's all this goose shit because the Canadian geese fly over the school where they walk.
They're big,
well, I know that Long Island is plagued by
and when my father,
geese.
When my father would meet anyone Canadian, he goes, do you know, these are people who like live in America, you know, they were born in Canada. He goes, do you know the Canadian geese, they're worst, and they should really get rid of them. They're horrible. They may leave a big deposit.
Any bird could have caused this problem.
He's obsessed with the Canadian geese. Well, I'm watching this plane crash thing, and they say Canadian geese got sucked into the plane.
I told you I was on a plane that this happened to.
Wow.
I was coming from Boston back to New York once. And we started to take off. We were doing that thing, you know, how you take off and the plane is just beginning to climb.
Scary time.
All of a sudden, there was this loud noise. And then you could smell burning flesh. And we were like, what was that? And then the plane kept trying to continue to rise to gain altitude. And it kept coming back down. You know, you'd hear the engine straining, and then it would come back down. And finally, I usually try to read or distract myself some way during the takeoff. And I'm sitting there reading. I said, I think I better look. We were about 6 feet above the water. We couldn't go any higher.
Wow. 6 feet above the water?
Yeah.
I have a question. When that happened to you, was only one engine affected? Or?
I think that was the problem. We had one engine at that point, and he couldn't do anything, you know. So he eventually said, well, it's obvious we have a problem. We're turning around to go back to the airport. And we managed to get back to the airport and land. But
the reason
I wonder what the people who were on that plane did. They were obviously planning to go somewhere. Did they all go home after surviving?
You know, you mean, do you get on another plane and go somewhere?
Do you continue your trip?
Well, they did. The reason I'm asking you about what engines went out, Gary swears to me that it's going to come out that it wasn't the geese. That they're finding out now that this plane had the same exact trouble with the engines 2 days earlier.
You know
and
what?
that also both engines went out simultaneously, which is very, very rare.
Well, that's why I said they were saying they must have flown into a flock. They didn't get hit by one bird.
Well, they did.
They got hit by a bunch.
That's what they're claiming. So Gary's theory is that it's going to come out. Like Gary said to me, you know, lawyers must be so pissed because when geese take out a plane, there's no one to sue. You can't sue geese. So they're probably praying that
But they're Canadian geese now.
Yeah, maybe you can sue Canada. But the thing is that the plane, if the manufacturer had some sort of bogus thing going on, the lawyers will be out in full, right? I mean, I bet you Dominic, he came up with that kidney case. He could come up with a way to sue geese, couldn't he?
Your Honor, these geese were sent here by Canadian officials.
Could you think Dominic could find an angle on how to sue
Absolutely.
for this?
Absolutely.
Well, he should be listening. Call in with your angle.
Maybe his angle is that this has happened before, and the airlines are aware that you could hit a goose, and that they should have done more to prevent it.
You know, I was thinking, I don't know anything about
Everybody was asking me, can't you put screens on those things?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
like how they're asking you. They're asking me, too.
Because I was on a plane that had happened. Can't I put screens on?
Apparently what happens if you do put screens on there, like maybe water paper, things will happen where it will actually freeze in front of the screen, so you can't.
So
in other words, would cause other problems.
In other words, you can't put something over there like a grill like you do on the front of a car.
Right. And apparently everybody knows that this is a problem. They've been actually trying to get rid of some of these birds. They've been going into their nests and actually covering the eggs with some sort of oil so that the eggs won't hatch.
They knew as soon as it happened to us. They knew exactly what was wrong.
Hey, call me an asshole, but can't you like, tape a scarecrow to the front of these planes and scare these birds off?
Don't know.
Hey, Howard,
simple solution.
I got to tell you something. You know Richard, who works for us?
Yeah.
Richard drinks. And when he drinks, he does stupid things. So apparently when Richard was a little kid, he was bitten by a goose.
Right.
So he hates them now.
Yeah, like my dad. My dad hates them.
So there's an organization called Geese Peace. I guess they're for the saving geese. And Richard got drunk the other night. You have to read this email he sent to them.
Just read it to me. What's it say?
I hope that the New York City Port Authority kills every goose within 100 miles of New York City. I defy you to tell me one reason why they shouldn't. I grew up on a farm, and geese are the most worthless, mean pieces of shit animals in existence. Their only reason for existence is so that humans can enjoy a nice cooked goose at Christmas. Kill every goose on the earth and feed Africa. That's my new standpoint after what happened on Thursday in New York City. I hope you learn what you're doing is wasting your life, sticking up for something that is nothing more than a flying fucking cockroach. I will be enjoying it.
I can't believe Richard used the word defy.
It sounds very articulate.
Yeah, and he knew how to spell it, huh?
Yeah, it's all spelled.
Meanwhile, Richard's dad called him, left him this message when this whole plane thing happened.
Rich, this is your dad. I was going to call and tell you that New York City ought to bring me up or shoot some of them damn geese. We don't have that geese around our airports down here. We kill them. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Nice message.
Ready to help us with the problem.
Dad just leaves a little message every once in a while. Pop in with some thoughts. That's sweet. Anyway.
That looks scary, too, and the water could not have been colder, I bet.
Oh, yeah, it was a really cold day. Yeah. If those people had fallen into the water and that plane had broken apart, it could have been a major problem.
Well, first of all, they're lucky it happened here in New York City because the Hudson always has all these little boats, these ferry boats.
Yeah.
And all
but they're saying if it had been further down or further up, the ferries couldn't have gotten there as quick.
Right.
Well, yeah, they got there quick. It was about 32 degrees, the temperature in the water. I would have thought it was much, much colder. And one guy, they said, actually started swimming. I guess he panicked. And rather than stand on the wing and wait for these boats to pick him up, he started swimming. And the guy, he almost was a fatality because
of the coldness of the water.
Yeah.
It'll take your body temperature down really quick.
Dominic heard our plea. Dominic, figure out, let's say it's true. The geese took down the plane, okay? How can you make a lawsuit out of that?
Well, first of all, it's a very interesting issue. It's an act of God.
Right.
Correct, the geese. On the other hand, it's preventable, at least the warning systems, because, our Air Force, they all know and have equipment that warns about the geese. The interesting thing is...
They have geese warning systems?
Yes, they have a system where not the plane gets a warning, but that they can pick it up on radar.
So who do you sue?
Well, you then sue the airports for not properly having the defense system. But what's really great is America needs heroes like this. This guy's amazing. Can you imagine how you or I, or let's even Artie, not Fred, we had a pilot, we would have panicked.
Well, we've seen you on a boat. We know exactly how you panic.
Mayday, there's a fire.
Mayday.
The boat is on fire.
Mayday.
Coast Guard Station Center, go ahead over.
Vessel in distress, this is Coast Guard Sector Long Island Sound. What is your position, over?
55, 622. 7335 418. I'm on fire. The boat is on fire. I shut it down. I see another boat coming over. I'm on fire. The boat is on fire. The boat is on fire. I'm on fire.
Vessel in distress, this is Coast Guard Sector Long Island Sound, over.
I'm on fire. Look it off the...
Roger, Captain. How many persons on board, over?
All by myself. I'm on fire.
Good guy in the background goes, tell him to shut up so we can talk to him.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. The boat is on fire.
Yes, Dominic.
I'm on a... goddamn cell phones. I'm on a boat with a little fire. If I told you how little this fire was, I'm suing for $100 million. I'm claiming this. Here this pilot brings down this plane with all these people for a perfect landing.
Well, that's why he's a hero. You know, how many guys could do that? Most of these guys don't even know how to... One plane had to turn around. The guy didn't know how to land in the fog, let alone on the water.
This guy's unbelievable. And America needs heroes like that. But I think on the board...
Well, I'm like that. I'm a hero like that.
Well, you could have. Obviously,
I could have landed the plane. Robin knows it.
You know that guy already got invited to sit with Obama today,
yeah, he's
right?
at the He's going to be at the inauguration.
Yeah, in fact, they had to move Big Fat Oprah over a seat just to get him in there.
And they must have something where the airline must have told him that he's not allowed to do interviews yet till everything's done.
Yeah.
So his wife's out doing them.
Right, because he's not spoken to anyone.
The coolest move he could make is not to speak to anyone.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of people who shouldn't speak to anyone, here's Dan the Song Parody Man to explain to Artie why he doesn't have his money yet.
Mayday, mayday.
Mayday.
Mayday. The boat is on fire. The boat is...
Oh, I know this song.
The boat is on fire.
Dan the Song Parody Man sent me a long letter. As you can see, it's small typed in a full page about why he is innocent in all of this with Artie and explaining himself.
Dan, can I just say something before we start?
Go ahead.
I'm not mad at you at all, Dan. I'm not, believe me. And you brought it up on the air. I'm sorry you did. I never
sort of.
Well, you did. I didn't bring it up.
All right.
I don't know who brought it up.
When you were freaking out on Teddy, when you had the Teddy fight, you didn't mention my name, but you said, I lent some...
Okay, so it could have been.
You said, I lent another guy who works here $7,500.
Okay, but how did...
Actually, your exact words were, and this guy might be even a bigger loser and a bigger deadbeat than Teddy, but I'm not sure. Maybe Teddy's a bigger loser.
No, you're definitely a bigger deadbeat than Teddy.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
I was mad at the time, and I did not say your name.
No, you didn't.
And there's no reason $7,500 should mean anything to anybody but me and you.
Right. I agree.
Well,
the point is, you're right. It shouldn't mean anything but me and you, but from the second you said that, from the second that went down, the clever detectives here were able to deduce who it was, and everybody was talking about it was me.
You brought
No, Howard. Months later did I bring it up, but before that, people were whispering in the hallways. I'd walk by, Fallon's walking by me, $7,500, $7,500.
How did they know that? How did they do that?
I guess they were able to figure out that it was. You said it was somebody who works here or somebody closely associated with the show, and everybody out there knew that it wasn't them. They knew that I just moved back from Vegas. They probably, some of them might know that I was desperate.
So, Dan, what's going on? But the last time
I don't know how you can yell at a guy who loaned you money.
I'm not yelling. Who am I yelling at?
You're yelling at Artie.
No, I'm just stating the fact that I brought it up after it was already common knowledge.
Let's skip all the history of this thing.
Yeah, forget about the history of it.
Let's get down to it.
I'm just broke right now. I mean, Artie loaned me money. He basically saved my life by loaning me the money at the time. I was flat broke.
How long ago did he loan you the money?
It was March. It was this past March, so it's closing in on a year.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Now, you said you were due for a windfall of some sort.
Yeah, the wind has yet to fall.
Right.
Hopefully,
what happened to the windfall? What was the windfall that you were
I can't really discuss the windfall, but it still could possibly, it still looks very good that it could happen.
And the other day I brought that up as a joke. Look, again, you know, with the radio show, Howard, you know this. Like, sometimes you...
Yeah, sometimes you bring up about how much...
Look, you've been doing a lot of great work lately. You were on the air, we were talking about you, and I said the windfall would be a funny thing to say, and, you know...
I understand.
Artie, let me understand something. How long did you expect to wait for your $7,500 back?
Well, I don't know how many details Dan wants to reveal, but I knew he was in a bit of trouble, and it would probably take a while. Now, I would never loan anybody money that I needed desperately, but that's, you know...
It's a lot of money.
It's a substantial amount of money.
That's 3 bottles of wine.
Is it fair to say you did want... Is it fair to say you wanted more?
I absolutely... You know what? I wanted more, and thank God that I didn't borrow.
Well, here's the thing, Dan. I did you a favor.
Out of 75...
There's a detail here you're missing.
Okay.
And again, Dan, I'm not mad at all. I know Dan's a hardworking guy, and it's tough times, but Dan wanted $15,000. He said, can I have $7,500 now and $7,500 when I get back to Jersey?
Wow.
So I said, Dan, I'll send you $7,500, but because I knew, you know, even though I technically need the $15,000, I said to myself, the best thing for my friendship with Dan is not to give him the $15,000.
That's a lot of
money. Because
I
figured it would be a long time, and that's really a number it would be hard to get out of my mind. So I just let it drop, and Dan was nice enough to let it drop. So we left it at $7,500.
You've been able to live on the $7,500. Why did you need an additional $7,500?
Okay, my genius plan was out when I moved back from Vegas. I was going to get my sound system business started up again. Where I do the PA systems, I do bands and stuff like that. What I was going to do is I was going to gear up. I was going to get an additional van. I was going to hire another guy. I was going to be able to do run jobs simultaneously. I thought that money would enable me to, pay him back faster. My plan was the money...
Do you have any family that can lend you money?
I was the guy in the family that loaned everybody else money when I had it. I was the go-to guy.
He's got a nice daughter who I've met. You know, it's like I'm not the 15 grand would have annoyed me so much to where I might have said something.
Well, wait a second.
So I just left it at what it was.
But just
the $7,500. So you never got your business going. Why didn't you just return the money to Artie then?
No, the money was to get me. The money was to cover my bills before I left Vegas, to move me back here, for me to move into a place. You know, you got first month's rent, last month's rent, security, to get my piece of shit van back on the road and roadworthy.
Don't you live with friends? You don't even have a place.
Yeah, no. I rent a house. I have roommates. I rent a share of a house. When I lived out in Vegas, part of my living arrangement was part of my work deal.
Now, since March of 2008, have you taken any vacations? Have you gone anywhere?
Let me tell you, Artie. I have not afforded myself a single fucking luxury. I live as frugally as possible.
Where'd you get that coat? That very nice leather coat.
This fucking coat. I got this coat is so old.
Give it to Artie right now.
You want it?
Yeah, Artie likes that coat.
This coat is so old.
Take off your pants.
This is what I hate.
How much are those pants?
I hate making someone who's a friend of mine explain themselves, but
I just want
I would never do this. I feel awkward right
Artie,
now.
The rumor is you owe Artie more than $7,500. Is that true?
No, as far as I know, I owe him $75. My plan was to get my money. I was going to give him $10 grand. So his interest, he probably wouldn't even take it, but I'd force it on him. I'd say, do something nice for yourself, the way that I did something. You did something nice for me. But the funny thing.
Dan, let me ask you something. What do you think's going to happen with this loan? Do you think
to make it all the more pathetic, my plan was if I couldn't get rid of it, I was going to sell my Harley and then I could throw him the money. I'm so behind on the rent on the garage where I store the fucking bike, I can't gain access to it to sell it.
I know how much that means to you. I don't want you to sell your bike.
How much would it cost to get your bike back? How much do you owe them?
I owe $4 grand out there. But I have 2 bikes there. I'm dumping one off, which I'm going to get about $2 grand for, and then I'm going to have another $2 grand cash that I have to come up for.
See, the other thing,
what are you going to do with the $2 grand? You going to give it to Artie?
No,
he's got to get the bike.
Yeah, I got to sell the one bike that's in there for $2 grand.
Why don't you say
come up with another $2 grand to clear that debt? Then I have access to the other bike, which I can then sell and pay him back.
You see, and Howard, here's the other thing. By not giving him the other $7,500, it does something else. I knew if I gave him everything he wanted the first time, he's going to come back for more money. So by not giving you that $7,500, it sort of puts a cap on what I can give him, too.
What about
he knows that.
What about getting a regular job?
I'd like to. I spent 20 years honing my skills in, like, the electronics, sector of electronics where I had my business, which went away. Right. And I'm a dinosaur. That's obsolete. It's kind of like if I was a skier and I no longer had legs. I can't do that anymore.
What about going to a restaurant today and saying, I'm going to work in the kitchen?
Sorry, man. For the amount of money I could... The amount of money that I would make on a menial job like that would hinder me from being able to make the small amount of money I need to get by. Between child support, monthly living expenses, which is really it. I have a certain number I have to make. What about you go down to the
sanitation department right now? Like, I know King of All Blacks makes about 40, 50 grand a year.
Because he's vested, because he's got tenure, because he's been in there forever.
So why not start?
I'm 45 years old, man.
Too old for that?
I'm too old for that. I mean, I can't. If I could start at the bottom, I mean, an entry-level job where you don't have skills.
What about working at a motorcycle shop? What about that? What about you?
I don't have the skills to work on other people's bikes.
What about a salesman at a store that sells motorcycles?
You could sell knives,
Yeah,
you have knives.
I could use them, too. But... No, you know what?
Sell your hair to a Chinese wig company.
That's not. I'll tell you, I've considered it. People aren't buying hair anymore. The economy's shit. People aren't buying bikes.
We've heard all sorts of rumors about. Now that everybody's talking about this,
I mean, first of all, I don't know how the gossip around here is crazy.
It's all over the place. So I got to ask both you guys a question. Is it true that one of the ways Dan got the money from you was that he called Artie and he was crying that he wasn't going to be able to see his daughter and he needed the money for airfare to come back? That's one of the rumors.
He wasn't crying, no.
Yeah, now
he really wanted to get back.
Now, how can these rumors be completely fabricated? If me and Artie are the only ones that had this conversation, everything else is just total fabrication.
Although I read your letter.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, something didn't ring true about it.
Tell me what didn't ring true.
If you don't mind me saying. You describe that since this has come up on the radio, and Steve Langford's been reporting on this.
Let me cut you off on that.
Hold on, let me finish.
Can you just refer to him as the scumbag piece of shit and not the name? Because the name makes me want to make my blood boil.
All right, scumbag piece of shit. I don't feel that way about Steve.
All your life, You've criticized people in the media who have misquoted you, who have written articles. You've accused them of yellow journalism. You've done prayers to Jesus, wishing cancers to spread through their body and die them so that you could piss on their grave and laugh at their rotting corpse.
What is Steve said wrong? There is a loan here. There's a debt to be paid.
The point is, it's between myself and Artie. Yes,
but you brought it up on the air, and then Steve is put in the awkward position of having to cover it.
Yeah, but you know what? He called me, and I said,
Steve.
"Yeah, better fucking walk past me, you fucking piece of shit."
Well, wait a second. You're taking it out on Steve.
No.
Don't do anything stupid.
No. Just stop it. Let me speak. Steve called me. I said, please do not run a story on this. When it's a fleeting mention on the show, it's one thing. If you repeated the news over and over again, then word can possibly get back to my daughter. She'll get teased. She'll get antagonized at school. I said the point. No, Howard. The point is, I said to him, please do not run the story. I'm appealing to you as a father and as a fellow human being.
But wait,
do not run the story. And everything I'm saying to you is well.
But Dan, you use the kid card.
Whether I use
who knows who Dan the song? Your kid doesn't go to school and get teased by the other kids because her dad is Dan the song. I mean,
no. She gets teased by other kids because some of the kids at school do know that I work here and people hear it.
And they know you're Dan the song parody man, and they listen to Howard 100 News.
They knew you didn't pay back Artie?
Oh, come on.
They didn't know it
possibly be true.
What kind of song can
First of all, it is. Second of all, you want to call me a liar? Call me a fucking liar, Howard. Well, I'm telling you one thing, and you're telling me you believe it to be the contrary. So you call me a fucking liar. But the bottom stop. The bottom line is this: I begged and I pleaded, and I very eloquently asked him not to run the story, that it could have a negative impact on my daughter. I said everything I'm saying to you is off the record, and the fucking piece of shit scumbag fucking ran the story anyway. And not only that, but he lied because in his story, he says, Dan warned us against running the story. I didn't warn you. I asked you not to run the story. You're a fucking scumbag, a piece of shit, a yellow journalist, and you don't practice what you preach because many times you've lied on the air and you fucking squash stories about yourself because you're a human piece of fucking shit. You should fucking die tomorrow so I can shit on your face, piss on your grave, and do a fucking happy dance because you're not a fucking human being to me. You're a piece of fucking garbage. And you better walk past me fucking fast when you walk past me.
Don't make threats.
I'm not making threats. I'm just fucking recommending the pace that he should walk at.
What does that mean?
Because I don't want him fucking near me because my skin crawls when he's near me. So it would be a favor to me. The same way as I asked you nicely before not to run the fucking story, it's a favor to me because you make me fucking sick. The sight of you, the thought of you. Let's talk about the liar fucking Langford. Funny stuff. First of all, what a moron. This fucking guy is embarrassed and tries to squash the story. He hates the fact that he has a reputation for having a big cock. He should hate having a reputation for being a big fucking cock. Steve Langford's huge penis. They had one of his ex-girlfriends who wanted to talk about it, and he wouldn't allow it through. A year later, he fucking lied and said he didn't squash the story. Then there's the fucking Steve Mud Langford, where the rumor was that he apparently shit his pants and his nickname at another news place was Steve Mud Langford. Now, he played it off and lied by saying that they said that because he was a fan of scatological humor. However, then a year later, he got somebody to cover for him and say, no, there was an incident where we were in a news van, and I crapped myself, and Steve got blamed for it. If that was what really fucking happened, why didn't you just say that was what happened? Not just say, oh, I'm a fan of scatological humor, not that somebody else shit their pants and I got blamed for it. Because you're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking liar. You are the piece of shit that comes out of an asshole. I asked you not to run the fucking story. It wasn't fake news. He wasn't breaking any fucking news. He was just fucking driving home something that was already covered on the show.
All right, Steve.
Fucking scumbag. Fucking die, you piece of shit.
Can he answer that?
And
did you poop in your pants?
No.
You did not?
No, I would like to be able to tell you that I did, but I didn't.
No. See, it's physically impossible for a piece of shit to take a shit. Either you can take a shit or you are the shit.
Do you want to respond to Dan's
shit.
charges?
Well, it's interesting. Dan says clearly that he wants to bury the story. Why is he on this radio show right now?
Because you've already fucking blown it. It's been on the air. And he's already... That's not... No. Why don't you fucking address the fact that we had a conversation? I told you not to run the story.
Right, but I don't take requests.
Did I warn you not to run...
When I covered the news...
Did I ask you to not run the story, or did I warn you to run the story? Because in your news story, you said, Dan the Song Parody Man warns us. Dan the Song Parody Man cautions us. Did I ever warn you or caution you, or did I ask you? Because saying I warned or cautioned, which sounds like I threatened you, makes for a better story when you don't have a fucking story. When you're a fucking piece of shit that tries to blow things out of proportions.
Well, we're not getting any.
There's so many inaccuracies.
He makes Tom Chiasano seem fucking animated. It's like if they took a fucking robot
but you're mad at the guy
and cloned it with a piece of shit, you'd have fucking Steve Langford. It's like they took a robot and they had did a poor job of trying to program it to emulate human emotions.
Dan, I like it. Here's my recommendation. Next time, don't bring up on the air that you're the guy who borrowed $7,500.
Howard, it was already out. The bitches in the office were already talking about it. When Artie was talking about it.
No, I'll tell you what, I would never, but people would ask me, and I would just go, I don't know what you're talking about, and it would never have come on the air.
But every time my name came up, did Howard not get a note that said, oh, doesn't Dan, the song Parody Man, owe you money?
And I would say no, and then it was end of it. Howard, believe me.
Listen to me.
It would never have been this way.
As mad as you are, Steve, and I understand your point. Guy got it.
He's a piece of shit. I told him it could affect my daughter. He ran a story anyway. He wasn't breaking any news.
All right.
He was just repeating what was already said on the air. I asked him fucking nicely.
What we did was we called the individual involved here, which is what reporters do.
All right. So here's the thing.
Right, and I said, I'm not authorizing you to tape this.
No, you did. Yeah,
I said, do not tape this.
We did not tape the interview because you would not go on tape. However, we did quote you.
Yeah,
which is what reporters do.
No, you didn't quote me.
Yes, we do. We got it right here.
Yes or no? Did you say in your piece that I warned you not to run the story?
Here's what the story says.
Because you can repeat the piece.
Here's what the story says.
Let's hear what he said.
The story says, Dan refusing to go on tape to comment about Artie mentioning the large lingering loan he still hasn't repaid Lang. And the song Parody Man warning us not to blow up, sensationalize, or glorify.
Warning us. Did I warn you? What is a warning?
Yes. Not to glorify, sensationalize, or blow up the story.
That's pretty close.
No. That's bullshit. A warning means
the news.
You better not do this.
If you don't like the news,
I asked him. I did not warn him. There's a difference. When you fucking say that somebody warned you.
You're getting worked up over the warning.
No. It's just a no. It's an example of the fact that he's a piece of shit scumbag, and he's full of shit. That he didn't have
a... Story's true. What can I tell you?
No, the story's not true because I didn't fucking warn you. So shut your fucking hole, Langford.
He's saying
fuck you. Shut your fucking hole, Langford.
Right.
Don't ever fucking walk near me.
Thank
you very much.
And Dan, calm down.
Wow.
It ain't worth it.
You're a fucking piece of shit, Langford.
No,
go that way.
I'm not going to touch him because I'm not into scandalizing shit like him.
You're heated up.
Fuck out of here.
You're heated up.
Howard, if somebody ran an article where you asked somebody not to say something and you said that they printed, you warned them.
I would point it out.
You'd fucking hit the fucking roof. And especially if it was...
Maybe.
And especially if you asked them not to run it out of concern for your children, whether the reporter thinks it's a valid concern or not.
Reporters write whatever they want. They don't care about your children. And they don't. That's
obviously, especially, including the scumbag that you employ, Howard.
That's true.
He's a fucking piece of shit.
He's a newsman.
He's a newsman.
No. He's a piece of fucking shit.
I don't sit there and tell the news.
I've helped that fucking piece of human garbage out with shit when he's needed fucking my help. I've seen him working on stuff and given him ways to speed up his fucking research. I've helped this fucking guy out. You think?
Now here's what I want you to do tonight. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Cut up your own voice and make song parodies out of it.
This is great tape.
This is great tape.
I'm sure somebody else will fucking
No. You need to do this.
Can I just touch one more thing? And obviously, I look at Artie, I'm like, I say, Artie's my friend. We fucking hung out. We've done a lot of shit. We've had a lot of good times together.
I don't have any bad feelings against you.
I called you a ton of fucking times, since I've gotten back, and it's the same procedure. I call your house phone, and it goes to the voicemail.
Well, you know what I would say.
I know, yeah.
Artie's not going to say
90% of the people in my life can't get in touch with me right now because I'm a heroin addict.
I can't get in touch with him. He's a heroin addict.
I felt like a real douchebag. I felt like over and over again that, I don't know, you helped me out as a friend, but then you fucking were avoiding me like the plague.
Matt is on the... Let's hear from the fan.
I don't want to put you in an awkward position where you're explaining it to me. If you had left a message, look, I have the money, meet me here, we'll go get it. Otherwise, it's going to be an awkward... I'm doing it for our friendship,
I know,
ironically.
It bothers me. I mean, it fucking bothers me every day.
Let's go to some of the listeners. Times are rough, and I'm sure you're going to pay him back. Matt, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Matt.
Hey, Howard, how you doing? I was just curious, Dan. Don't you think that maybe if you just concentrated on resolving the whole $7,500, that it wouldn't even matter what Langford says? I don't know, I'm just curious because this is the second time I'm hearing somebody blow up on Langford. Seems like we're kind of tangenting off the...
I was going to say that to you. I was going to say that to you. It's more...
I work every day towards trying to find a way to resolve this debt as quickly as possible. I got a ton of music here that I'm actually in the middle of restoring and selling. I got vintage Fender amps that are worth like $2,500 that I'd like to just get rid of one and at least hand that to Artie to give him something. But no, the point is, Matt, I told the guy that if you blow this up and you repeat the story over and over again in the news, that it could have a negative impact. It could get back to my teenage daughter.
But when you go on there and say you're a poon hound and all that, don't you think that could have an impact to your daughter?
I said it once in a fleeting moment. You guys have repeated it 1,000 times since then.
Is it? Well, you know how the show works.
I mean, I also...
But has it affected your daughter? Has anything happened?
Yeah, somebody called her a fucking welfare loser at school.
All right, Ken, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I don't know how they know who you are.
I don't even know how they know who Dan the Song Parody Man is. I don't even know his last name.
I don't deny that you're telling the truth. It's crazy.
Ken, go ahead. You're on the air.
Dan, you're a talented, creative guy, but you're clearly out of your fucking mind here.
How am I out of my mind?
A lot of talented guys are out of their mind.
Well, this is an extreme case because Steve Langford is an extremely talented, professional guy, and you can't get past the name calling.
No. He's not talented. He's not professional.
Yes, he is, man.
Call up my naivete that I said to him 4 times. This could have a negative impact on my daughter. I'm not giving you any breaking news. You're not breaking a story. You're just going to be repeating what's already been said on the air. But the negative impact on your daughter
is borrowing $7,500 in the first place.
Yeah. No. It's the fact that they're running it on the news over and over again and increasing the exposure of it.
But if you didn't borrow the money, it would never be on the news.
The point is, but the point is,
look, I'm not judging somebody.
And don't go on the air saying you're the guy who's owed the money. Then you wouldn't have any Steve Langford or any impact on your daughter.
I wish that was the case, but that's all right. But that's over and done with. The point is, I asked the guy very nicely, and I told him why, okay? And he chose to run the story anyway, despite the fact that I told him that it could have an impact on my child.
All right, Karen, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Howard. I'm not calling about this.
All right, we're on this topic now, though, my darling.
Well,
all right, let's stick to the topic. Let's go to Jovan.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Good. Dan's great. He's a smart guy.
I love Dan.
And you know, you got to appreciate him how far he got. Just a funny story. Back in the old days, we used to play hockey with him.
Jovan, hey, man, I was thinking about you the other day. You're the best.
How's it going?
Killer defenseman.
The funniest story, we get shellacked on the ice. He gets back in the locker room. He lights up a cigarette. He goes, man, we fucking suck. And you're just sitting there like...
Do you smoke cigarettes?
Oh, that's the other thing. I was trying to figure out if
Where are you getting money for that?
If I didn't smoke, I'd take it out of my food money. I'll fucking smoke instead of eat. Yovi,
give Artie the cigarette money. What do you spend a week on cigarettes? How do you not have money? I don't understand. Yeah. I don't mean to get into your financial life, but now that it's on the air, why would you smoke cigarettes?
I'm an addict.
You have no money.
Artie can relate.
Give that money to your daughter, then she won't be a welfare kid.
Yeah.
How much money do you spend? How much are cigarettes now? How much are they a pack?
Anywhere between like $5 and $8 a pack.
Oh my God! So how many packs a week do you smoke?
I'm stretching like a pack will last me 2 days, and I'm smoking the cheapest stuff.
All right, so you're spending at least $50 a week on cigarettes.
Yeah.
Dude, if you gave him $50 a week, you'd be paid him back already.
Yeah,
for a year.
What's $50?
What's $50 a week times 52 weeks? Robin, you're a math major.
2,500.
2,500 you'd have.
Yeah.
Then you could get your bike out of Hock and pay Artie his money.
That's about a third of what you owe.
Hey, Jovan, back in those days.
I want you quitting cigarettes
back in those days, would I put up like the whole $6,000 for the team fee and then wait for the guys over the course of the season to pick it up? Because I had money back then. Yovi was a great defenseman.
Listen to me. Quit smoking today. It's over.
Oh God, I wish I could.
No, you
can't. Stop it. Wow.
Dude,
I do. I cut everything out. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I don't smoke weed.
Are you dating?
I cut down on my eating.
Have you gone on a date?
I haven't gone on a date in ages. Not a date where I had to pay for anything. Right. Anyways.
What is it, Gary?
The guys in the office were asking a question, which I'm going to pose to Dan. If you were looking to keep this whole Artie money thing sort of private and quiet, they were saying Artie did a book signing. And at the book signing, there was Langford was there and the Howard TV cameras were there. And Dan got online and like repaid Artie $100, like making a whole show of it.
Right.
So if you were looking to keep it on the sort of quiet, why would you do that?
It had already been brought up on the air. I was there, and I handed him money, and the cameras were there. It's not about...
It appears that you're willing to talk about it on the radio and play with it to some degree.
Now it's completely out in the open, okay? That was something that my daughter wasn't going to see. It's something that my daughter wasn't going to hear.
But how do you know what she's going to see and what she's not going to see?
She only pays attention
No, she only listens to Steve Langford.
Yeah. No, she doesn't listen to anything but the kids.
I'm just saying, how do you know what anybody's going to see or hear? How do you know if a parent had Howard TV and seen that, who would you be mad at then?
Then I'd have myself to blame. I'd absolutely have myself to blame.
But you're out there talking about it. I'm just saying, I know why you're mad at Steve, because he said he wouldn't do something, and he did it. But I just think that you're just sort of getting mad because Steve's easy to kick.
All right, Bob,
no, Steve's not easy to kick. The guy could fucking probe into my fucking life and make it miserable if he wants to. Then I'll have to make the decision or not of how I want to fucking deal with it.
Bob, you're on the air in Toledo.
Hey, how you doing, Howard? Hey, this is for Artie, and ask the Song Parody Man to be quiet. I'm going to put the truth out about him.
Let's hear it.
They sold them bikes at auction because of that storage. He has no bikes. He's lying out his teeth. They were sold a month and a half ago.
Okay, describe the two bikes. Tell me what type, and then I'll pull the registrations out of my pocket. We'll see if they match.
I'll pull them out, Dan. I ain't going to describe them. They weren't that hot of a bike anyways. One went for $6,500, and the other one went for $1,100. One was an 883, and the other one was a Fat Boy.
You're absolutely wrong. They're both shovelheads.
Okay.
So you're a fucking moron. One's an Iron Sportster and one's an 80 Y Glide. So shut your fucking hole. Yeah, it's another fucking ass. Yeah, it's another fucking asshole talking shit.
Didn't I ask you to be quiet?
Yeah, but that's too fucking bad. Be quiet so you can fucking lie. You're a shitty caller. You tried to call it and be funny. You suck. That was your fucking angle to get on Howard's show to say that they sold my bike at auction? You fucking go to fucking hell.
I pay my fucking subscription. Don't owe Artie nothing.
All right, let's go to Sam. You have the final word in California. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I want to know the storage name of Dan's storage lot, because when they do get posted in the newspaper and they do come up for auction, he's $4,000 behind on the rent. I don't believe it. I want to buy them. So what's the name of the storage unit there?
Yeah, like I'm going to fucking tell you. It's through an individual. It's not a storage unit. It's a garage that I rent with a couple other people. One person has their name on the lease. The rest of us pay our share for the garage.
All right, listen, Dan, I hope the financial situation gets better for you. That's
hopefully
number one.
You know, I got this, hopefully I'm doing this tour with, the people I work out with in Vegas. I got a tour coming up. And
plug that so that you can get back on your feet. Where are you going to be?
So Beecher's Madhouse. He's booking a casino party tour that's going on in all the different casinos outside of Vegas around the country. You can check out beechersmadhouse.com. And just one more quick thing. Artie, was it just an oversight that you didn't invite me to either of your parties this summer? And I don't want to be a douche, or was it like that, you know?
No, you were. I didn't formally invite anybody. It was like, there weren't invitations.
I don't know. Like I said, I felt like you were.
No.
I was 10 minutes away in fucking Long Branch.
Sounds like Artie maybe didn't want you there.
Yeah, no, that's not true. I mean,
I happen to know Artie sent out a mass email. Not a mass email. An email to Tracy. Not Tracy, but I don't even remember that you invited anyone. I heard through the grapevine you were having a party. I don't think there was a formal invite.
Yeah, right. I just said anybody could come. Of course. If I would have seen you, you could come. No, I'm not like that. Believe me. Look, I don't judge anybody for borrowing money. I know stuff gets shitty, and believe me, a lot of people owe me money.
I tell you,
and a lot of people have owed me money for years, and I keep it quiet. I'm sorry I brought it up. That day with Teddy, I lost my mind.
I know. I can't blame you for that.
And I didn't mean to call you the names I was calling you, but it was like, I was nuts, and I never would have brought up your name. Howard could ask me till Kingdom Come. I would have said, no, that's not true, because it should be private. I wish it hadn't come to this. I do. I mean, it might have been eaten away at you, so I was talking about another guy who owes me money.
I know, yeah.
And then, look, by the way, this other guy who owes me money.
Yes.
Everybody here, they're like Sherlock Holmes. Everybody here figured out who that was.
Oh, yeah, I figured that off the bat.
Okay, right. Okay, so you work here. You figured it out somehow. And
have you figured it out, Howard?
He knows who it is.
I have no idea. He told me, and I don't know who it is. I swear you don't.
So in other words, so that guy all of a sudden got the guilt and is texting me every 5 seconds. And you know what? It'll never come to this. You know why? Because I'll never say his name, and he probably won't either.
Right.
You should have just not said anything, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me just
I mean, I'm sorry.
Who would even know?
Yeah,
No one would know, Dan.
I've been on both sides of the lending. The first time I've ever borrowed a large sum of money is from you, aside from the mortgage that I took out on the house.
Lucky you, Artie.
But from being on the other side of it, okay, and I know how much it could piss you off if you think I'm going out and I'm spending money and just like that would be a big F you to you. I got people that I've lent way more than you lent me, who've never paid me back, who've sold their houses, and I know they've profited over $100,000 on their house, bought another house, then
while I was... get them.
Right. And then while I was losing my fucking house and needed money to keep it out of foreclosure, this scumbag was putting in a fucking pool in his backyard. While he still couldn't pay me back, the 10 grand.
So you are not doing that.
I'm never going to be that fucking guy. I would sooner fucking kill myself.
No, I know you wouldn't, Dan.
Right.
Believe me. But
All right. Let me wrap this up. I don't want to put Dan on the...
Now, here's just another offer for Artie. Since this tour is getting booked and I'm going to be doing a ton of work on it, Beecher actually offered to give me an advance on some of the money that I'm going to earn from the tour, which I could then give directly to you.
All right. There you go.
If you could afford it, fine.
Yeah.
You know,
all right.
Don't get yourself.
So thanks, man. Again, the most important thing is you know that we're still friends. Man.
We are. I'm not. Believe me, we're friends.
Do you want Langford to do a story on this today or no?
No, I want somebody else to do a fucking story on the passing of Steve Langford. And
all right. Dan,
the
song, super talented guys. You heard he has just put together another hit song, Everybody Douche Now, featuring Tracy. And I have to say, Dan, you are a super talented guy. And yes, you will get back on your feet.
What sucks about money is...
And you know what? You don't have to pay Artie back ever, I'm sure.
No. What sucks about money is, like, you know, I don't need money now.
Yeah.
But everyone here has seen my violent streak when I get mad. God forbid I ever do need money. Because, you know...
Good luck.
I'm going to go looking for it.
I mean, if it makes you feel better to kick the shit out of me, I'll hold my head behind my back. You can pound away.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a lot of other people.
Everybody douche now. Let's get to something happy, all right? Come on. Everybody douche now.